Now, solar panels, free electricity and extra cash in your pocket, right? Well, wrong. We've been on the trail of solar panel companies who've been generating more anger than power across the north.
In these uncertain times, there are two things in life you can rely on: the sun rising and the sun setting.
But this is a story with a far from sunny outlook. It's a story with claims of broken promises, the loss of hard-earned cash, and a painfully long fight for compensation.
Solar panels offered us the chance to save money on our electricity bill, make a bit of money and reduce our carbon footprint. Tony was one of those who took up the green offer with the solar panel company My Planet Limited.
They were very, very persuasive. Everything said was plausible. It was a no-brainer.
Tony would save cash by generating his own electricity, and even better, would make money by sending power to the national grid. That's called the feed-in tariff. All up, My Planet estimated Tony would be around 30 grand better off over 20 years.
Saying we would get £700 to £800 a year off the paying-in tariff, and we get free electricity. It was just too good to be true.
My Planet offered Tony a loan of £15,000 to pay for the solar panels, but he'd still be in profit. Tony says the panels didn't generate the amount of electricity My Planet promised.
Mind your step.
Yeah, will do. Take it easy. And he showed me a more worrying problem.
Basically, it overheated and burnt out the contacts and burnt the wiring back. Luckily, it didn't set fire to the house.
So the whole of this could have gone up?
All this could have gone up, the house could have caught fire, and it's right above my children's bedroom.
Rather than saving him money, Tony reckons the deal has cost him more than £500 a year. The loan was taken out with Creation Consumer Finance. The company says it's not responsible for the performance of the solar panels and insists Tony wasn't missold. His case is now with the Financial Ombudsman and has been for 2 years. I'm visiting Julie and Stuart. My Planet installed some panels on the roof of their barn.
Over 25 years they were claiming a saving of just under £80,000, which obviously looked really good.
The panels cost them £14,000.
We had to take the loan out with Barclays because their paperwork and package all came as one thing, so Barclays backed what they were doing really.
So a reputable name, did that reassure you?
It did, you know, you see a name like Barclays tied with something, you kind of think that they'll have done some due diligence, checked out the company. So I was quite comfy seeing, you know, a bank like Barclays being tied with them, you know.
The panels were meant to provide free electricity to Julie and Stuart's house.
That was what was promised, and we haven't received anything at all to the house.
So what's happened to My Planet? Well, I've been doing some digging around and I found this, and it's a document which shows that the company went into liquidation in March 2016, owing creditors more than £300,000.
The director was Mark Bonifacio. Mr. Bonifacio asked if we would pay him to appear in this item. We declined, and so did he. He did tell me
My Planet installed over 15,000 solar systems. All of these customers will be benefiting from free electricity. It is impossible to guarantee the performance of any solar system. All systems were tested to ensure they were working effectively.
These are some of the loan agreements from Barclays, filled in by My Planet reps.
The bank is clearly concerned about the track record of firms across the country installing solar panels, because I've discovered they've set aside £38 million to deal with potential claims. Barclays won't talk to me either and refuse to tell me what sort of checks they carried out on installers using their loans and how many complaints they're dealing with.
But in a statement, the bank said it
always seeks to ensure customers are satisfied with our financial products. Where customers have cause to complain, we will review each case individually.
Brian from Rowlands Gill was preparing for retirement when a salesman from PV Solar UK called.
I says, I don't want to take a loan on. He says, well, I can get you a loan if you can afford £90. He says, but you'll get £120 a month return. And he says, you'll be £30 to put towards your pension. I says, oh, well, that sounds good. So I went along with it, you know.
Brian took out a loan with Barclays of over £10,000 over 10 years.
The payments, what I was getting back off the feed-in tariff, they didn't correspond with what I got prescribed.
An independent survey of Brian's system showed even after 20 years, the income from the panels was never going to cover the cost of the loan.
So I had to dip into my savings, which I was putting away for retirement, to pay the loan off. To me, it was lies.
Barclays has offered him some compensation, but Brian and his claims company say it's not enough.
Our client simply wants the system removed from his roof and to be put back in the position he was. And 3 years on, we still argue the case. And furthermore, the case has been with the Financial Ombudsman Service for 3 years, and we still haven't got a satisfactory result.
PV Solar UK went into liquidation in 2017. Robert Skillen was the director of the firm when Brian bought his system.
Mr. Skillen didn't want to be interviewed either. There's a pattern here. He claimed Brian's solar panels would make money during the term of the loan. In fact, Robert Skillen is now in business claiming to help people who've been missold solar panels.
If you or anyone you know has purchased solar panels either with your own funds, financed them, used the government's Green Deal scheme, or taken advantage of free solar panels, you've been scammed and you're due compensation.
One MP has described him as having the brassiest of brass necks.
My Planet and PV Solar UK were signed up to REC. That's the Renewable Energy Consumer Code. It promotes best practice in the industry.
Both companies generated complaints from customers. The trade body said My Planet had been pressure selling to customers. It left the trade organisation. REC says they received nearly 200 complaints about PV Solar UK. Its membership was terminated for breaches over several years.
Many complaints about mis-selling end up here at the Financial Ombudsman Service. So I want to find out why it's taking so long for cases to be settled.
How many complaints have you received?
So we've got about 2,000 complaints about solar panels at the moment, and we've got more coming through every week. We resolved about half within 3 months and about 90% within a year, but some unfortunately do take a bit longer than that.
I know of somebody that put in a claim in November 2016. They're still waiting for a resolution nearly 3 years later. So how do you account for that?
So I would hope that they would be getting an answer soon, and it's certainly not the case that nothing would have happened in that time. But I'm certainly sorry if they've been waiting that long. That's a lot longer than we would hope they would have to wait.
Is the Financial Ombudsman Service pushing the banks hard enough?
I think there's always more that we can do, and we'll continue to share our insights and work with businesses so that they're delivering a better service for their customers.
I've heard stories of anger, upset and frustration, and all over a product that's meant to help the environment and make it easier to pay your bills. But for families who thought they were doing the right thing, they've come to bitterly regret it. The only certainty? The sun has yet to set on this story.